I slipped and fell on the ice. You know, I actually did that this year. No. Yeah, this year, actually. Yeah, that sucked. Originally, I made some fun ASM. It's relegated to the hard mode version, included for your perusal. I don't have that. Anyway, abolish ice. They're evil people. Ugh. Yeah, I don't get the hard mode one. They don't never send us the context of zip files anymore. I slept on the ice, right. Is this... Oh god, this is what this is? So it's icy slopes where I move very slowly. Ah, man. I see where I want to go. That's what this is. It's just one long slope where I move slowly and it's icy. I don't have great feelings about this person right now. Hard mode is the reward for getting the exit. Oh boy. I don't want the hard mode. You know, the thing is I realize I'm gonna have to come back down based upon what I'm seeing here. Well, at least that was not worth the effort. Actually, that might be important to do if I want to... Right, because I slipped downwards. I can't simply maintain position. Yep. 6th thrower. Not seeing that person play the hard... I'm not surprised. Like, I knew what I was in for, because when I was looking for a stream to watch... end up seeing a thumbnail of Hawaluta playing this. Like, if I don't sound enthused, I don't sound enthused because, like, I just went on a gigantic rigmarole and now this is... Well, can I slide? Yeah, I can slide. Okay, that's at least mildly interesting. And kill that. That probably makes my prospects going back down better. I guess I just need to, like, take this incredibly slow and arduously. And it's their 6th throw. Oh, that's a 4th thrower. Hey, that is different. And then there's 3 of them. I want that. Wait. Oh, he's a football guy. Okay. That's actually better for me. And I'm not getting that. I didn't think that through. I'm surprised I'm not dead. Need your card on permission. Go for it. Take no for a yes, definitely. One of the most important rules in life. Make it so someone else has to do something to deny you permission, instead of simply giving you permission. Maybe forgiveness? At least there are power-ups, I guess. I meant to slide a little higher up. This is approximately where I got to last time. The worst part is, I suspect what's going to happen with some of these football players is I need to kill them. That's what the fire flower's for. Oh my god, okay, I understand now. Yeah, I think I hate this one. Like, usually I won't want to be nice and sugarcoated, but this seems awful. And it is a 6th thrower. Like, there was one of the QLDCs I judged, where quite literally I could tell that the person spent approximately the same amount of time, spent less time making it than I did playing it by a long shot. And this is a slope with random garbage on it. I don't know, maybe something happens near the end to make it more interesting. No. Not this one. That does not help me think this is gonna end up being any good. I'm vaguely tempted just to swim right to the end. It's right there. I think Sisyphus had more fun. Like, it's well known that Sisyphus actually eventually started enjoying going up the hill. Ah. There's nothing I love more than being in a level that I know I'm going to be in for a long time and realizing the entire song is exactly like 4 bars long. Let me put it this way. Sometimes I wonder if people mistake QLDC for Be Really Annoying LDC. Okay. Imagine Chasix with this. I just end up, like, launching through the wall. Also, I can't run. Like, quite literally, I can hold Y and it makes no difference. That's the gimmick here. Y does nothing. Is this... Nope. Dang it! Bad LDC? Yeah, this is more bad LDC than QLDC. Questionable. Quirky, I think, is fine. Quality. But, like... Do you imagine the person who made this likes this level? Like, really? Do you imagine that they sat here playing it and said, yes, I've done a good job. I'm happy with my creation, and I truly enjoyed this? Just ask yourself that. Sure, it's possible. But I don't think it's true. I'm trying to remember, there was a Sisyphus level I played in a different hack that I actually kind of enjoyed. I'm trying to remember what hack it was. I think Jamie made it, so that should narrow it down a bit, but I don't remember what it was. The level, not necessarily the whole hack. It might have been a hack jam thing. Like, I wonder if it was part of, like, Crack's Cafe. Maybe it wasn't Jamie, maybe it was Donut. No, I think it was in that Quack Jam entry. People would probably ask about the bomb excavation levels, and the answer is you do find them at least somewhat fun. You know, that's fair. I mean, I don't think your level was bad, right? I don't think you made it with the intent of being annoying. Sometimes you make things and you don't realize that people are not as good at them as you are. Certainly hours into bomb excavation give you a better insight into how to do that better. Bizarrely, the best example I have from real life was a guy who was, as it turns out, really good at cutting potatoes. There was a puzzle in the intern game many, many years ago, and for that, they needed to make a bunch of potatoes with half of Greek letters cut into them. And it turns out the guy who designed the puzzle, whose name was also Jamie, bizarrely enough, was really good at cutting half Greek letters into potatoes in a way that the other people who were helping make the puzzle were not. So, the more you know. But this is like, yeah, we've taken away your ability to run, we're gonna throw random stuff down the slope. Thanks, Timmy, is what I more or less am thinking here, not, this is some sort of really interesting idea you've come up with that really has made me think about Mario World, or appreciate some aspect of it that I haven't seen before, or perhaps the design is straight up wowing me. It's just, no, let's just kick bullshit at you. Like, this just kind of sucks. Like, and usually I try to be nice about this, but, like, I just think this level sucks right now. I will say for that one bomb level in one of the prior QLDCs, if I had to do the part, like, if I had to do the actual, like, Kaizui aspect of that, it would have been nightmarish for me. But I can also appreciate, like, the value here, right? Like, I watch a pit hack and can kind of enjoy understanding and the design behind it, right? Like, pit hacks are fascinating for what they are. Like, why was that baseball going the wrong way? There's an artistry to it. Oh, it didn't even hit him. But he can't kick anything, so I don't know what's up with that. Whereas here, it's mostly going to come down, to some extent, to luck. In part because one of Mario's primary useful verbs has been locked from me. Almost there. Maybe this isn't as bad as I think. But still, I guess I haven't seen what the downswing really looks like. But I do know for a fact that Hawalute had to come back to this, which does not give me an immense amount of faith here. I'm not dead, somehow. At least hit the box! Wait, that doesn't work. That didn't work. A waste of a Koopa. A Goomba. A Galoomba. There we go, that's one down. Maybe we should have waited for the Lava Lotus. Nope. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have left this till last. I don't know, everything I've left till last has been confusing. The last two things have been confusing, to be honest. Oh well. Honestly, I kind of want a potato now. Had a salad for lunch, it was okay. I'll tell you right now, if I come and stream tomorrow, it's not going to be Mario World. I think I've had a bit of enough of this kind of nonsense for a little bit. Game of Life? I liked Game of Life in a way. I don't know if it was a level. I think a lot more work was put into it than this. And the Galoomba didn't help. No, sometimes you play a level, you just need to refresh your palate. Like, we're talking earlier with Duke 3D. I don't even remember what the level was like. I'm just done with Mario for right now. I'm gonna go play the opposite of Mario. And came to the conclusion the opposite of Mario is Duke 3D. Because, like, they're not... it's not unreasonable. They were both released around the same sort of time. I think Duke 3D was sometime, like, 92-ish. No, it wasn't 92-ish. When was it? It was, like, 94-ish. I mean, it's not, like, late. I guess Mario World's 1990 flat. When was Duke 3D released? God. Fun fact, I actually got in trouble for downloading the demo of Duke 3D. I guess... demo isn't the right word since it was the first episode of the shareware, which is effectively the same thing, but you know, that's not how we thought of it back then. Or we didn't really think of it as the demo so much as the first episode of shareware. It rocks. This is the last level. As long as someone's having fun. I don't know why that doesn't hurt him. Probably some sort of sprite limity thing. I don't know why I try that. That doesn't work. But anyway, way back when, we didn't actually have the internet, we had CompuServe. And local BBSs. We played on all the local BBSs. But only played. Like, local BBSs, the thing about BBSs was they always wanted people to actually post on their message boards. And there were a few with local ones. I already mentioned Tuscaloosa. I can say, like, the Firehouse was one. There was something electric. I forget what the electric one is, but the Firehouse is the one I remember. And they all had the same sort of BBS door games that everyone had back then. Namely, the ones we were interested in were Lord, which was Legend of the Red Dragon. Man, it's been too long. And Trade Wars 2002, I think it was? I forget the exact number. And Planets. We liked Planets. Trade Wars and Planets were basically trading simulators of sorts with extra things in them. that were actually quite fun at the time. The way BBS games worked, they were called doors, for the reason being you'd open a door to a different world, which makes it sound so much more extreme than what it actually was, which was to say that it was invoking an outside program in the context of your BBS software. So Lord and Planets and Trade Wars all actually worked as separate DOS executables, and you could just run them and play them if you wanted to. And we did. We actually ran them on our local computer quite a bit. Much to my mother's chagrin, because when we did so, we would move the time and date forward, and backwards, and everywhere else. Because the way those games worked is you had a number of turns in a given day, and you could set it to be some number in a text file somewhere as part of the configuration. But you could never change it to too high of a number. There were bounds in there. And so at the basic idea was you would play your turns and then log off. Think, you know, like pretty much any modern gacha kind of game where you have your dailies and things. In the case of Legend of the Red Dragon, what you'd do is you'd use your turns to go into the forest and you'd have encounters. It was a very simple kind of RPG. And the encounters varied in terms of their, like, difficulty, so you got more experience for more effective encounters. And you could run low on HP and need to go run back to town and get healed. And that wasted turns, too, or wasted money. I forget the exact economy around that. You could also do PvP, but we never did. We always preferred to stay at the inn, though there were ways of getting people out of the inn to force them into the PvP zone. Because, of course, there were. What's funny to me is I actually follow the guy who wrote Legend of the Red Dragon on Twitter and or Blue Sky, because he's on both, and he posts about his interesting things he's been doing. Mostly AI stuff, which doesn't endear me. He did try out the whole claw thing, which just sounds like a great way to lose data and or money. But what was the point of all this? I went on a long tangent. Anyway, CompuServe. CompuServe was like AOL in the sense that, like, it was a closed internet-like thing that had its own sort of ecosystem of little websites. They were called boards because they were message boards of sorts. But mostly what we were interested in was downloading software or learning about cheat codes and things because we were children. And CompuServe also charged by the minute. I feel that's an important thing to understand that isn't as obvious for people in modern days as, like, the reason why 1,000 free hours on AOL sounded really good is because everyone else was charging more. Of course, AOL is now completely irrelevant, though it was somewhat irrelevant by the time the internet came around to most people. Once the internet came to AOL, it was kind of the beginning of the end of a lot of things. Hence the moniker the Eternal September. Which, if you've never heard it, is a famous Usenetism about the state of the world after AOL got online. Because the basic idea was that in September, all the students who were arriving at universities would log on to Usenet for the first time and be obnoxious newbies. As most newbies are wont to be. And it's not really any fault of their own. It's simply that they don't understand the culture of what they're seeing yet. There's a certain amount of time it takes to acclimate before you can do as a Roman, if you will. But once the AOL people got there, well, the September never ended because there was always an influx of clueless newbies, and it never ever stopped. The point of all this was that I downloaded Duke 3D and my mom got mad because CompuServe charged by the minute, but you know, neither here nor there. We're mostly just waxing nostalgic because there's nothing else to do. This level is Sisyphusian, and otherwise I'd just be complaining about the level itself, so this is probably an improvement, at least in some way. He used to have a t-shirt with Sisyphus on it. Sisyphus was Google security team's official mascot, which was apt because, much like Sisyphus rolling the rock up the hill, the work of security never really truly finishes. There's always going to be new exploits. Always going to be new issues. Love that shirt. I think it finally got enough holes in it that I couldn't wear it anymore. I think I had it squirreled away somewhere like an awful lot of other shirts I used to like wearing. Maybe one day I'll try and get them turned into a quilt or something. As you are wont to do with old clothing. Or maybe that's just the, like, weird pioneer Mormon in me. I think that's a thing they used to do. I know my mom did quilting for a while. It's a very, like, group thing to do. Certainly doesn't now. She occasionally still, like, does some sewing if people need it. In fact, I actually should remember next time I head out there. I've got a t-shirt that I discovered has a rip in the armpit. I'm surprised because I've never wore the damn shirt. I got it at GDQ, and it's actually a really nice shirt. It's the one celebrating JSR's run with Peanut Butter, the dog, showing off Peanut Butter playing the baseball game. And I got it at GDQ, but it's got and I brought it home, washed it once and hadn't worn it. And the other day I was like, you know what? I want a new t-shirt. I want something I haven't worn in a while. So I got that t-shirt and realized, it's got a hole there. Before I put it on, I was very deeply unhappy. Of course, since it's the Yeti, there's no chance that I can go get another one. But also, since where it is at the crux of the armpit, it feels like the kind of thing that a little bit of sewing could be able to do, and it shouldn't be that noticeable. But I don't know. Since I have at least 2 seamstresses in my family, I figured I'd at least give an ask next time I'm over there if they'd be willing to give it an old college try. My sister also sews because she does cosplay stuff. I actually don't know what her newest cosplay is. In recent history, she's done a couple of the Sailor Scouts, but I don't remember which ones. Also, I don't think I ever saw that particular outfit, now that I think about it. Of course not. That'd be too easy. Anyway, Duke 3D was definitely a lot of fun to play, because we weren't allowed to play Doom because it was full of demons. Surprisingly, we were allowed to play Duke 3D even though it was full of titties. But we did turn off the titties mode, so that accounted for something. Damn it. I guess I could talk about QLDC in general, since it's the last one, and may as well. Gotta say, I think in general, QLDC has been improving over the years in terms of overall quality. Like, it's always been good, but I think that in general, there's been less, like... I don't think the high end has gotten a lot higher, but I do think the low end has gotten a lot higher, is what I'd say. There's much fewer low effort levels. There's only been one, I would say, like, maybe should have been disqualified, and that was like a very, like, maybe. It was like, if this is a newbie, I would be okay letting them have a little award, but if it's like idle shitposting, don't give it to anybody. And I'm using Idle as a stand-in here, because she's a big girl, she can handle it, etc., etc. But like, if it was someone whose name I know, like if G-Breeze Sunset submitted something like that, I'd just be disappointed in G-Breeze for doing it. It was a level where everything sounded like farts. That level was just full of farts and nothing else. I don't believe this is a G-Breeze level. Because even G-Breeze's shitposts have more work put in than this. There's a midway?! Kill me. Just kill me now. Just kill me now. I should just jump for the midway. Hexen was out? You know, I never played Hexen. I never played Hexen. Like, there's an awful lot of games that I look back and, like, would have been nice to have played these when they came out, but maybe I'll get to them sometime with the Squiggle Box. It's kind of the fun thing about the Squiggle Box. What if the midway's a troll? Well, I mean, I don't really mind if it's a troll, to be honest. That was kind of what I was aiming for, was I wanted to get the midway, but also try to stay on the thing, but then I forgot how annoying the jumping is. I think if I were to play, like, there's a couple of games that are definitely, like, on my list of I would love to play this just because it'd be fun, and I never really did as a kid. But I don't know if I'll ever want to find the time, because they're long-ass games. Thief, The Dark Project, I would say is pretty high up there. What was another one? There was another one I really wanted to play. I think Planetscape Torment would be a lot of fun to play, especially since I really did end up enjoying Baldur's Gate 2, and I believe that if it's not the same engine, it's a very similar engine. So at least I have some expertise to help me, you know, get past it. I wouldn't want to play the remake. Not any of, like, oh no, remake, just so much as, like, what's the point of playing a remake when you have the Squiggle Box? Like, I have a Windows 98 machine. The point is to play Windows 98 machine things. Dang it. Dang it. What'd I just say? I said that one of those games I'd love to play if I ever found the time would be Planetscape Torment. Because I heard so many good things, and I spent a lot of time in my adolescence reading PC Gamer, but not getting to play anything that was released in PC Gamer. Now, I didn't play Diablo 2 until it was like 2002? No, that wasn't even until Diablo 1. That was Diablo 1. I didn't play Diablo 1 until like at least the year 2000. I was in high school by then. Maybe 2001. Let alone Diablo 2. Squigglebox is a fun name. That's why I call it that. That mushroom is a troll. I should never bother trying to get it. Alright, well that worked out. Come on, hit the box! Such an awesome game, but it's rough around the edges. I mean, sure. I felt the same. Like, Baldur's Gate 2 definitely had some weird parts. I don't want to say it was rough, but like, well, I mean, there was the part where I ended up with a murder of merchants. Which is totally what is going to be the title of that VOD, by the way. When I get around to it. I've been working on Baba Is You. I finished up Freak City. I shouldn't have done that. Well, we got it. I don't know if it was worth it. Hey, Pokey. Bye, Pokey. In comparison, BG2 is an AAA game. Oh, wow, that actually worked. Oh god, this is awful. Oh, hey, Pokey. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. Kind of saw that coming. If I can bait him out. I have no confidence in this. What killed me? Oh, the piranha plant did. Well, at least I got the midway. Oh, that's the problem with that plan. Actually, what I should do is get out and kill that guy when I first have the chance to. I can't believe that worked. I'm just looking at everything I have to do on the way down and feeling in mild despair. Either way, that guy has to die. The problem is like without jumping, you can't maintain your position. On the other hand, if I kill everything on the way down, who cares? I can reclimb and it's not that bad. Well, only if it stays dead, though. I have to collect the coin souls. Yeah, I think this is actually the right strategy, and I hate it. Wait, no. No, you can't fix that. Okay. If you ever start sliding, you're going to be out of control until you jump. And even the slightest jump is going to end up back up, so I just have to eat it. This is going to be torturously slow. Okay, so basically I do this until I run across... Why is there a foot... And those must spawn independently and not be attached to any pokey or chuck. It's worth it, just trust me. As Rosalina slowly slides her way to victory. What other ones would I really want to play? I never played Grim Fandango. I kind of feel like I owe it to myself at some point to do that just out of the hell of it. But maybe the next Monkey Island first. No! Oh, I fucked it. That's too close. That's just way too close. I can't use that strat there. Okay. Grandma Ding is a great game. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to clear my pile, right? Like, getting QLDC done was high on my list of things before I could move on to something else, if that makes sense. Right. I'm just gonna fall out. Just holding right, not end the slide? I mean, I can try. If I slide very little, maybe. I don't have access to run. That's the key thing here. Yeah. Wee. Do 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 do. It is a good pod face. I won't deny that. I hate how that thing spawns in. Alright, but I think you have a point, Max, is if I get a little bit closer before I start my slide, I can end the slide a lot quicker. Nah. But it's not quick enough. Okay, important thing to remember is that if I do slide longer, I just need to try to keep the flower on me. No, it's off by one for the next set of flowers. But, I mean... Okay, this might be doable. No, it's not. Well, I guess actually it really doesn't matter. I'm unlikely to keep that flower anyway. I get the feeling that when I find out who made this, I'm not going to be surprised. I didn't even successfully do the thing. I'm thankful there's a checkpoint. That's the best I can really say for this level so far. Okay, stop being a negative thing here. What else? What else? Okay, here's a weirder one. I've always wanted to play the Saturn version of Story of Thor Beyond Oasis. One point in time... In fact, I think they still have it. I have like an ancient GamePro magazine with a walkthrough, and I remember reading it and enjoying, looking at it, thinking, oh, this looks so cool! And then, of course, never actually playing it, because it's a Saturn game. Yeah, I think that's a better play there. I have a Saturn now. I can easily play it. It's not multi-disc, so I don't run into multi-disc problems. I don't have any other like ones that were like that I saw on like PC Gamer and thought looked cool. There was one I don't really remember the name of, but basically you were a little like angel, and you could inhabit the bodies of people, and you had to use this to solve puzzles. I forget exactly how it worked. Play the Saturn version. You know, I've been tempted. Like, I know it's bad, but I still want to play it. Just because it's on the Saturn. That's really it. I remember mentioning this to, like, Hawaluta or something. It's the first time I've been hit by that. I might still be able to make this through. Because if that's a jumping chuck, I can get the fire flower right afterwards. It's not a jumping chuck. Nope. Maria's fun. Oh yeah, get rid of that while I'm at it. But yeah, there's like bonus stuff. I've played through Symphony of the Night on Xbox 360, and I did get all the achievements and stuff. But like, Saturn's a different version. It's got stuff. So... I don't think there's a way for me to make this work. I think I'm wasting more time, yeah. You can't slide into chucks, you'll end up jumping upwards, which defeats the purpose. Like, there's no winning there. Because it'll force me up either way. With the baseball chucks, they'll at least jump. And so there's some advantage to that. But with the football ones, there's nothing there. There's nothing I can do that's useful. I just have to do the loop again. Oh, I should have done another one there. Just trying to find the equanimity to make my notes for this, not, I hate this and I think I hate you too. Don't always get knocked up high enough? I mean, maybe. Okay. Fair enough. This might be recoverable. There we go. Save me at least a little trouble. Now I just have to dodge the pokey heads that are inevitably going to spawn right here. It's the Goomba. Damn it! Just want him gone. Okay, done this. Brilliant. I didn't even slide through it. Ooh, okay. Probably doesn't help I've been at this for 5 hours now. Anyway, that game looked cool. I want to say it was called Messiah. What am I even trying to do here? Alice. That's another one of those, like, I'd love to play. What was it? American McGee's Alice? It just looked interesting. And it was a bit before everyone went and got on the, like, oh, I need to remake this fairy tale, but dark train. Just a little bit before that became a big thing. I actually listened to the audiobook form of Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. What I didn't realize, the entire purpose of Alice Through the Looking Glass is to make fish puns. The entirety of it. All of it. No part of it isn't about fish puns. Like, I can't even really be mad about it, but like the whole thing when you actually get to the end of the book, you're like, all I did really was just read a bunch of elongated fish puns. It's not a bad book for what it is, but it is a bunch of fish puns. Well, that didn't help. I need to kill those somehow. One of those great, like, green text things. Someone telling their campaign notes on 4chan about how they keep having to solve these world-ending cataclysmic events. And then at the very end of it, all of it, they end up asking themselves, did we just spend the entire time cock-blocking an elf? Because it's always the same woman who's just a little bit too obsessed with a singular PC who was in one campaign, many campaigns back. Just still funny. Didn't think that one through. I kind of miss going up. And I dropped it. And I dropped it. What was I thinking? I can't get back to that without running. The thing is, I know I can do this. I just don't know if I want to spend more time doing it. I feel like I'm dignifying the level with more effort than it actually deserves. Where is that baseball coming from? That's happened more than once. Ah, no, my nose. Gosh, nose itch. Any other level, that wouldn't be a problem, because I could scratch my nose, but not this level. This level's anti-nose scratching. No, Infuriatingly calm music. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even hear it anymore. I have already tuned it out. I am completely unaware of the music at this point in time. I got one of them. I think that was a worthwhile trade. I want that gone. I keep getting hit by those guys on the way back up, and I don't want them here anymore. There's a pokey head that can assault me. I'm on the genocide route, is really what this is. You watch this level for hours, having no idea what the song was, and one of those weird coincidences, yesterday I watched someone play The end of Paper Mario 64, that's what song is from? Ah! You are fittingly going up a giant spiral staircase as it plays. Go figure. I am going to have to consume both of those. There's not really a way around it. I think that's fine. What? My pressing down didn't work. I don't know what else is up here, so I should be careful on the way back up, but it's a long friggin' way. Okay. I don't have any notion of when I'm getting close back to the bottom. There we go. I have a notion. I guess that'll be a useful notion in the future. I also know that there's a friggin' platform sooner or later that's going to spawn in and try to mess with... Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. Okay. I think I'm fairly close to the bottom. You know what? YOLO! Oh my god! When you get to the... Okay. Well, I was close. We'll try again. Again, and again, and again. I'm gonna be honest, at this point I really suspect my entire judging notes for this as, you know, sometimes when you can't say anything nice, you just shouldn't say anything at all. Because I just don't have anything nice to say about this. This isn't very fun. And I don't think a lot of effort was put into it. Like, I don't feel it. I was, in fact, close. It's true. I felt like YOLOing was the right thing to do there. I don't have any other level that I actually got as mad at as this level. I think maybe the, like, don't game over level, possibly. Like, that was a hard sell. At least it had easy mode, which gave you infinite lives and let you respawn in the same room over and over, though it did defeat the purpose of the vision of that level in many ways. I still think whoever made that should just package it up into an actual hack and submit it, because I'm pretty sure there are some sickos who would absolutely love to run that gauntlet. So what level I gave up on? What level did I give up on? There's no level I haven't beaten from my recollection. There was at least one level where I gave up and came back, because it was late. At least one. I know there's at least one, and that was the don't game over one. I gave up on that and came back. Just because after trying the legitimate standard difficulty version, I gave up after a little bit. And after throwing my head against the wall a bit for a lot longer, I switched to the easy mode. No regrets on that, by the way. I did also briefly give up on the escape room one, because I was confused, and in fact, the reason I was doing QLDC that day was because I didn't want to do any puzzles. I was considering puzzles, and but the long story short there was I was just door blind. Not far from the end. Gonna just... No! I'm done with that. I typed in my notes for the first day, and I left them there. And then I wrote the notes when I came back. And I think between the two, person will get a good idea of how I felt about it. But honestly, I stand by my statement. I do legitimately think that if you package that up as a single URL hack, there would be a non-trivial number of sickos who would enjoy it outside of the QLDC set. and would be much more likely to play it. Like, he built, like, a thing that was of the scale, if not larger, honestly. Like, Hawaluta's first QLDC entry. Where, like, that was, like, 5, possibly 7 QLDC entries in a bag. That one, I think, may have been, like, 4... It's, like, 8. Let's say 8 QLDC entries for that one. Like, legitimately, that it was just that long. If you were to play it legitimately the way it wants you to. If you recall, there is one. Which one? The hard mode? Or the version of that on already submitted as a hack? If so, I didn't see it come across the plate. Right, I'll see the 2 boxes. That's when I'll know I'm close. But, like, the hard mode's problem was you only get 10 lives for all of it. I know there's at least one more Lava Lotus. Okay, don't lose the Fire Flower. For the love of Batman, don't lose the Fire Flower. There! That was the problem! I couldn't slide there! You know what? That was perfect. There was an easier solution. Long time. How was the trip to the store? And back. Trip back from the store. It's been a long time, but I haven't really moved anywhere. There we go. I think I'm really close. Ah, no. Oh. Okay. Well, that could have gone so much worse. I have 2 power-ups. I'm pretty sure I've killed every killable sprite. I just need to get there. I think Genocide complete. Remain calm and don't slide. Instructions unclear. Actually, I could have hosted me. Okay. Yeah, that level is abject boredom and misery. There's no better way to describe that. I do think it took me longer to beat, by a long shot, than it took to make. And now the hard version, which we're going to play for all of a minute before we chat hacks this shit. Alright. You can't jump. And you can't retry. Why does it do that? Why in the world does it pause on retry? Like, is that a default behavior? Yes, that is. Why in the world would you do this? What is wrong with you? Yes, everything about this is worse. Truly and utterly worse. Whoever talked you out of this is a saint. Absolutely effing not. We are just doing this. We ain't stop. Oh god, we are stopping. Why did I stop? Apparently, if you twirl your cape, it stops you. Nope, we're just holding right. Yeah, see? Look at that. Look at what that... And you don't... You cannot push back. In what universe did you think this was a smart idea? It looks the same. I can't jump. If I ever jump, I lose traction entirely. Or if I press Y. If I literally press Y, I lose traction and will fall down to the bottom. Like, I don't blame you for saying it looks the same. To a large extent, it is the same. It's just worse. Yeah, no one would ever want to play this. Ever. I can't imagine what you were thinking making it. Like, this is truly and utterly abominable. The world is a worse place for this hard mode existing. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. See? Even if you get bounced once, you're done. It doesn't matter having a cape. If I didn't have a cape, that's what would happen there. If I bounce on something, it'll throw me off. And the pausing. I don't know why there's pausing. That is so bizarre. There's no midway either. Now, truly... Oh, right. I can't swim. Alright, this is going to take some creativity. I don't think there's actually a way to do this, even with cheating, that isn't terrible. Okay, do this. Let's see if we can make this work. Just out of pure malice and spite. Stable ground collision. Now I maintain a bunch of speed. Okay. Actually, the water level will help. Yeah, because that'll slow me down. Okay. Doesn't count. But we get to listen to the music. I'd say this is a tremendous improvement upon the other music. Okay, now we do that. And then we bring back the collision. Victory. What was your suggestion, Max? Oh no, I don't know that one off the top of my head. We completed it. We're done with it. That's all. I'd really have loved there to be a node over here saying, you so didn't beat that. That would have been way funnier. Yeah, so that level is... The hard mode is truly and utterly abominable. Like, I do not understand if anybody would do this. No, that didn't kill me. That was nice. But yeah, I wouldn't have been that hard to fix. Just go a little bit further to... Stay a bit further to the left. Your suggestions to look at recent modules? It's been a while since anybody's updated. As far as I know, I don't actually look that often. Project Carl, listings, Kohai. And what does this do? Okay. Unload. Always. 0. I beat it. 0 legit. Alright. What's your... Let's see what this does, just for the hell of it. You know, I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with that. I don't know what that... I don't know what that was supposed to do, Max. But it did kill the SD to SNES. Anyway, yeah, that level, I am so pleased to not be playing it anymore. That's really the long story short. I don't know why people do that kind of thing. Aside from having a massive amount of malice in their hearts. That's the only thing I can imagine. I could say other things that are mean, but I don't want to say them. I just don't. That level was bad. It was bad. It's bad. You should feel bad. Like, I'd like to be nice about it, but man, there was nothing there that actually justified its existence. There was no part where I thought, man, you have really shown me something beautiful and interesting and truly justified this. No, it was just Timmy level. Timmy level taken to an extreme. No, how much do I need to beat it legitimately? A lot. Oh, how much? Oh, God. No. Right now, God, no. Not an amount you could move to me on Twitch, let's put it that way. Like, I like to try to be nice. I like to try to look on the bright side of levels. Even when it's a silly Timmy level, I'm like, at least the palettes are nice. I'd like to try to be nice. There's nothing in that level that I saw that was nice. Nothing. I didn't like the music, I didn't like the gimmick, I didn't like the level, I didn't like any of it. I thought it was awful. I think it basically was made as a way to harass the judges in some way, shape, or form. It was just horrendous. Yeah, no. It would require a larger amount of money than that, and by the time I actually got down, I probably would still be making minimum wage. Like, just, that seems so tremendously awful. Actually, you know what? One positive. There was a midway. I appreciated there was a midway. When I write about that, I'll have to write that I'm glad there was a midway. Oh, anyway, I'm done venting my spleen. I need to go to sleep at some point in the near future. I need to stop being angry. But I'm glad to be done. It took a while, and I'm glad I'm done.